Welcome back to the Bub. This is video 2 in this little series on brew day here. Wanted to talk to you guys about grains. So there is 2 types of brewing process. There's all grain and extract when you're doing home brewing. When you first start out, the extract brewing process is preferable. It takes less space. It's a little bit simpler process, and then the more you do it, the better you get at it. Then you can move into the all grain, but then you need larger vessels to do all grain brewing because there's a lot more liquid involved. So typically, most home brewers will do for every pound of grain, you do 1 liter of water, and this is for your boil, right? So this is where we're gonna steep our grains to release all the nutrients and flavors from the grains. So if you've got 13, almost 14 pounds of grain here, you would do 14 liters of water. And that's your boil water to create your wort. And then to do your sparge, most homebrewers will do it with around 2 to 4 liters of water. I do 10 because my yield is going to be 23 liters of beer. So if I do 14 and 10, I get 24 liters. That's okay. I'd rather have a little bit more than a little bit less. I don't want to be adding fresh water to my wort after it's chilled. So we'll talk about that when we do the actual chilling of the wort, just before we pitch the yeast in it. So pound per pound, it's pretty good average. When you're trying to do a 23 liter batch in all grain, just do 14 and 10. And then you're not gonna have to add water. You're not gonna water down your beer, which is, I just got so sick of doing it, it didn't make any sense. So basically that's your all grain brewing process. The next step is we're going to get our water in here. We're going to get it up to temperature, which is going to be around 170 degrees, 160, 170. Then we're going to add all our grains and get the grain steeping. And then while we're doing that, we'll put all the hop additions, and we'll look at the different hops that we're going to use in this recipe and take a look at our hop times, make sure we don't want to change anything. The reason I say that is because some of these beers we've been making, we'll just play with them. So you said we make this pale ale and it's really good, but well, maybe it could be a little better. So we tried some different, maybe stay with the base grains and just try some different hops, different hop additions, or maybe just change the dry hop all together. And kind of a funny story with this one, the California pale ale, we call it the ugly because when we first went to make the recipe, and the dry hop had Centennial in it, and I'm not a huge fan of Centennial hops. So I told my buddy Adam, I said, hey, when you go to buy the recipe, I wouldn't use a Centennial as a dry hop. I would use Citra and Mosaic or something along that combination. So anyways, he went and bought, he took that as, don't buy any Centennial, quite a bit of Centennial in the recipe. So when I was looking for the hops when we went to make it the first time, there's no Centennial. I was like, so we decided to call it the Ugly Stepsister because we're going to brew it anyway, and it turned out to be really great. But since then, we've messed with this recipe numerous times. We've changed it numerous times to the point where it is now. And so the recipe we will be showing you today, we're not going to change it again. We went a couple different ways with it. It was still good, but it really wasn't any better than this recipe. So we're staying with this one for the ugly. So when we talk about the ugly of the Bub, that's what we're talking about, is the California Pale Ale. So next video is we're going to get ready here to start making beer.